Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today is going to be a roundup video. I like to do one of these at the end of every month to talk about all the things that I have been testing lately. I have a lot of really juicy things to talk about in this video. I've been having a great time testing makeup this month. I cannot wait to get into it. Before we do, the tea of the day is from a brand called Vadam. It's from India and this is their Darjeeling summer tea. I don't drink enough Darjeeling to have opinions of what makes a good or bad Darjeeling, but this one tastes really good. Steeping it for just 1 minute gave it a lot of flavor. This will easily re-steep again at least once. Yeah, it smells really good. Depth of flavor is good. I think this is a good brand. But like I said, for my limited experience, I usually drink Chinese black tea, but that's delicious. Okay, so let's get into the blush that I am wearing. So, oh my gosh, I was so excited to test this. This is from Honest Beauty, and this year they expanded their color range. So look at this amazing color. This is the shade Lush Lilac. I am wearing it today, just a kiss of it. I really wanted to show you guys how it can look with just a little bit on. I'm gonna quick turn off the light above me. I feel like it's making me have weird shadows. 1 second. Yeah, that's better. So now you can see the color a little bit more. So today I wore just a little kiss of it. You can see it just looks like a really pretty pink. Another day I wore a little bit more of it. I asked a friend if it looked like I had bright lilac blush on. To her, she thought I was wearing kind of a berryish blush. So in any case, it didn't look like a bright lilac blush, which was, it's good. I think this color is so neat. And I'm really well acquainted with this formula. The color rose pink has been a favorite of mine for years. This is the new packaging. I must say, I think the packaging is really nice. These blushes did go up in price. I think they're up to 20 bucks now, which is like Sephora prices. But the component feels really heavy. It's made of tin and it does have a nice mirror on the inside. It just feels really nice in the hand. So that's something I appreciate for the price that these are now. But the formula is fantastic. It's going to stay a really long time and it is pigmented. You don't need a whole lot of it. And this is one of those formulas that really melts into your skin. This performs just like Rose Pink, the one that I love so much. Since it is a cream blush, it has a little bit of radiance to it, but it doesn't have any sort of glitter or sparkle in it. And it's also not dewy. It does set down. I really recommend the Honest Beauty blushes. I think they're fantastic. And I'm so excited to have this color in my collection. This is the only lilac blush that I have. I don't think I need another one. Just one is fine. And I really, really like this formula. So again, so happy to have this. Let's talk about something that is not new, just new to me. For the past several months, I have been testing the classic, oh, I'm gonna wipe off some of the prints. Subliminal palette from Pat McGrath. So what I tend to do with these, because I do think they're horrendously overpriced, is I save up my YouTube money. It takes several months. This is definitely just a treat to myself. But this is the first palette that she came out with, so I was very, very intrigued by this taupe section over here. I think it does look more cool tone than it actually is because it's in black packaging. I'll quick tell you how I did my eye look today. I just took this taupe shade here and put that through my crease. Then I took this darker taupe shade and put that on my outer corner. Then I spent some time deliberating between these two beautiful glittery shades, which one I was gonna go with. I ended up going with this one since it flashes more pink. I thought it would match my blush nicely. Just love, look at the shine on that. I love how that looks on my lid. Then I went back to this taupe shade and just kind of lined under my eye with it. I had another look I did where I used this vibrant blue as an eyeliner. It turned out really pretty. I find, however, that when I use colors like this, I have to be really careful not to put it on my lower lash line. It just really brings out blue in my under eyes. I don't normally have dark circles, but I feel like it really wants to pull that color out of my skin. So whenever I do wear this anywhere on my eye, I wear a pink eye brightener under my eye to kind of cancel out that blueness, and it really helps. So if you also have that problem like I do, that's what I end up doing. I use the Becca under eye corrector. But anyway, this was so pretty as an eyeliner. And as always, I'm very impressed with the mattes. They have good pigment, but they're super, super blendy. It's very easy to use a light hand with them and achieve the look that you want. I really do think that the matte formula is fantastic. The formula on these two is very interesting. They feel very creamy, kind of satiny shades. But you can see, you know, they do have some sparkle to them. And when you first swatch them, they have pretty good pigment. I found that when I blended them out, because I like these colors so much, I wanted to wear them as single shadow eye looks, which is how I tested both of them. They were both beautiful that way, really creamy on the eyelid. But when I found I blended them out, they kind of wanted to blend away, which was very interesting. Not something I've experienced with Pat McGrath before, but it actually turned into a very pretty look just because they were so creamy. When they blended out to be kind of really super subtle out this direction, I don't know, I thought it was very classy looking, very pretty. So I will be using those shades more often that way. But let me quick give you swatches of the whole palette. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did put this shade on my inner corner as well. Okay, so here we have the whole palette swatched out. You can see, yes, it is a cool palette, but it's not gray leaning at all. Also, these two taupes, such useful shades. Really, really amazing. Love those. Look at that super vibrant blue. So gorgeous. Oh, this yellow, this kind of gold up here is one of like the baked special shades. I did use that all over my lid one day and I thought it was very beautiful. Very thin, sparkly, ethereal. Very, very pretty. This is the one that I have all over my lid right now. This blue in combination with this sparkly shade on top of it is also gorgeous. So I realized talking at length about this palette, probably not needed. This palette has been out for a really long time, but since it's been out for so long, I actually had never seen anybody like properly swatch it out and talk about the different shades in there. So I wanted to do that for you guys. Let me know if you have this palette. Do you like it as much as I do? I mean, obviously, like I said, they are overpriced. I always buy them on sale. Even when I'm using my YouTube special money, I still buy it on sale because it just bothers me so much to spend that kind of money on eyeshadow. But I just, the more I use them, the more I like them. They are special. I really like them. Okay, moving back into something that is new. This has been going viral, right? So this was actually sent to me by the brand, which was so exciting for me. And it was not sent in like normal PR. What happened was I have left reviews on the Tower 28's website for other products before. They sent out some of these to people who had already left reviews on their website. So that is how I managed to get one sent to me and how I've been able to test it for so long at this point. I've been using it for over 2 weeks at this point, even though it just came out. And I've been using it almost every day that I've been doing my makeup. I've been kind of neglecting my Project Pan concealer because I've been testing this so much. They sent me the shade BU, which is shade number 2, I believe. On me, this shade is fairly brightening. You see how light it is. So when you first swatch it, it definitely does feel serum-y. But the second you start to blend it out, you'll notice that it definitely feels like it has coverage. It has a little bit more thickness to it than you would expect. And as you blend it, oh, I had blue eyeshadow on that finger. I think that's why it's now turning blue. Yeah, whoops, it's not normally blue, okay? Sorry. But if you wanted to see what shade it is, I am wearing it under my eyes. So I tend to be very, very picky with concealers. When it comes to my under eyes, I want it to look like skin. I'm not normally after something that is brightening. If I'm gonna go for brightening, I wear something peachy, like my favorite one from e.l.f. here. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. Or I wear something pink, like this product from Becca. Smashbox Becca. But if I'm just wearing a normal skin tone concealer under my eyes, I actually want to be fairly close to my skin tone. So this, first of all, was a little light for me. It's hard for me to look past that when testing a concealer, but I have been trying because the shade actually is not that bad. It doesn't look like I'm wearing like a bright white concealer or anything. The finish on it is not radiant. You can make it look radiant by wearing, you know, lots of hydrating products underneath of it, but this kind of sets down to a natural finish. It's not flat matte. It does have a nice skin-like look to it. But something I noticed right away and every single time that I wear this is that it draws attention to the lines under my eyes. And I actually don't have a lot of lines under my eyes. So it actually was surprising to me. I put this on and I was like, oh, I can really see my lines today. I'm gonna come close to see if, you can see them now. There they are. So my favorite concealers, like the ones from Glossier and Kosas, don't do that to my under eyes. But it's one of those products that I actually feel like looks better the longer that I wear it. I don't know if it's just kind of settling in my skin better, but I do think it looks nice. But when I look close up, when I notice those lines, I immediately don't want to wear it. You know what I'm talking about? But because it has such a skin-like finish, I have a feeling this would probably be really nice used as foundation. In fact, I have seen some reviews of people using it that way and they love it. I couldn't really test it that way. I mean, I actually did try it one time. But it was so pale, like maybe looked so ghostly trying to use it that way that I could not go about my daily life wearing it. I would have looked really silly. So I couldn't test it like that for you. But I do seem to be the odd one out. Most people seem to be really loving this, and I am so appreciative to Tower 28 for sending this to me. It's entirely possible that I would like it a lot more if I had it in a shade that wasn't quite so light. Since this is brand new and so many people are loving on this, I have a very pale friend in my life who I think I would like to give this to, although I don't know if she wears concealer. I'll ask her anyway, because it does have a pretty finish on it and it looks really good with powder on it. Oh, as for coverage, I should mention that. It does have more coverage than you would think because it's a serum concealer, but at the same time, it's not super duper high coverage, which actually, coverage is not something I'm super concerned with, which you can probably tell from the fact that the Glossier is my favorite. What I want under eye concealer to do for me is just do a little bit of concealing of some darkness that I have here, but mostly to conceal the difference between my under eye skin and my cheek skin. Like I want them to merge into one skin. So I do have different wants for my concealers than a lot of other people. Let me know, have you tried this concealer? What do you think of it? For the most part, I do think it's a good concealer. Just for me personally, I don't like the lininess. I had someone comment on the short that I made that she has more mature skin and she thinks it looks amazing under her eyes. So it could be just a me thing. Let's talk about another blush. So Causemetics came out with another blush, and I have all of their other blush formulas, like one shade from each formula. They like to do blush and they're very good at blush. And so I was very intrigued when they came out with this formula. So first of all, let's talk about the packaging. It's this beautiful, soft matte pink packaging. It comes with a nice mirror on the inside, and the actual component has a really nice little magnet. I was also really happy with the price of this. Causemetics can get really pricey, and this is actually less expensive than any of their other blushes. So I was happy to see that. I mean, it's still not cheap, but it's under 30 bucks, which was great for Causemetics. So this type of formula, I have the shade Peanut, by the way. This is their Pillow Plush blush. The shade Peanut is a beautiful kind of warm shade, and I'm squishing it so you can see that it's a squishy blush, kind of like the ColourPop Super Shock blushes or the MAC Glow Play. But in comparison to those, I do think it has a slightly more gel-like consistency. Sorry, my dog just beat on the door. So here's the shade Peanut. It's actually a super beautiful shade. Product did come with this adorable little sponge you can put on your finger like this and apply it. I have tried it that way and I thought it looked okay, but it actually wasn't my favorite way to apply this. I prefer to use this with a brush. I use something like this. I think this is a discontinued brush from e.l.f., but you can use any stipple brush like this, kind of dual fiber. I find I can really go to town with this, pick up quite a lot of it. And instead of swiping, I do pressing motions, and it creates a beautiful soft matte finish. This blush doesn't have any sort of glitter or anything in it, and it's just a really pretty soft matte. I do think that the ones from MAC are a little bit more blurring, but this does have some blurring to it. When I tried to apply this with my fingers, I thought it looked a bit patchy, so I much prefer it with a brush. They only released 2 shades in this formula, which I thought was an interesting choice considering that usually when they release a blush, they come out with a lot of shades. But who knows, maybe they're planning more shades in the future. But I'm actually really happy with this. It's something that I will wear every day. It's a very easy for me to wear color. And the packaging, it really is cute. I mean, Causemetics always does a nice job with their packaging. Let's move on to a mascara. So this is a mascara I was trying out last month, and this is one that is kind of going viral. I know Kelly Gooch talks about it all the time, and I forget, I saw someone else talking about it too, but this is from Lottie London. This is the Super Fake False Lash Effect Mascara, and I mean, look at my lashes. Do they not look amazing? Like, I really think it's a great mascara. So I happened to buy this before Lottie London left Ulta. It must have been literally like the day of, because the next time I went to look, it was out of Ulta. I'm not sure where you can buy Lottie London aside from their website. I know they're in some stores, but they're definitely not anywhere near me. If you know where you can buy this, make sure and let us know down in the comments. But this is what the wand looks like. I have really found that I like this type of wand. They tend to be very, very lengthening, and I really found, I really think it lengthened my lashes. This gives you a lot of drama. It's very pretty, but at the same time, it's not clumpy. False lash effect is a good description for this one. Unfortunately, this one does flake on me, and honestly, it flakes sooner than a lot of other mascaras do for me. I'm going to continue to wear it because I think it's so pretty, but I will definitely be aware of what I'll be doing later in the day if I choose to wear this mascara. So it has not dethroned my Tower 28 or my Cali Ray or my Honest Beauty mascaras, but it really is pretty. And since it's so inexpensive, I think it might be worth it for a lot of people to try out if you want this type of effect on your lashes. because, you know, it may wear better on you than it does on me. Mascara, it's very strange how it can wear amazing for some people and not others. Let's talk about this gloss. It's so pretty. So this is from AF94, which I believe is Halsey's drugstore brand. Like, this is the brand that she sells at Walmart. This is the Give 'Em Lip High Shine Lip Gloss, and I'm wearing the shade Honey I'm Home, which is a very pretty nude shade. So this is what the wand looks like. It's actually, you know, it's very pleasant. Just a nice, soft, little classic wand. And it actually has a beautiful formula. I really like it. So by no means is it kind of plushy like a liquid lip balm, but it is a really nice gloss. Like, I feel like now when everything is labeled lip oil, it's kind of hard to discern again what's a gloss, what's a lip oil, what's a liquid lip balm. Like, it's all kind of merged together. This is definitely a gloss. It's super, super high shine. I am wearing it over a lip liner, and yes, I happen to get a very unfortunately placed little pimple right in the cupid's bow of my lip. So that's why my lips look funny. I should have mentioned that before, but I really enjoy this. You guys know that I have sensitive lips, and these do not bother my lips. If there is a scent, it's very mild. I'm not smelling much of anything. So if you're sensitive to scents, that is a really good thing to note about these. And even though I would consider it a true gloss formula and it's very high shine, I don't consider it sticky. There's a little bit of tack there, like any gloss will have, but that kind of tack makes it stay better to your lip instead of running all over the place. So I don't mind it, but I still wouldn't classify it as a sticky gloss. I also really like the size of these. There's only 3 mils in here, which is pretty small, which means it makes it easier to use up before it goes bad. And as someone who has had bad reactions to lip glosses that got old in my collection, I don't mind buying small glosses. It means that they will get used up faster. If you like high shine gloss, I would recommend checking these out. They're quite nice. Okay, now I have a couple Sydney Grace products. Let's start with the blush that I tested. Oh, I really enjoyed this product. So this is the shade Dreamy. So it's kind of on the cooler side, but not super, super cool. That's what the shade Dreamy looks like. I really like applying these with a brush. These do set down, so not gonna stay dewy on your skin, but they do look very skin-like. They have a very nice natural finish. They have pretty good pigment, so you don't need a ton. But I was just so impressed with the way this melted into my skin. I know that's something that, I mean, I'm guilty of saying quite often, but really, this was something that really was noticeable to me. This formula is very thin and lightweight and just really a joy to work with, and the price on them is delightful. If you are a cream blush fan, I highly recommend these, and I really want to know what you guys think of them. If you've tried them, please let me know down in the comments. If you had such a positive reaction like I did to the finish of these, I think that they're really, really nice. And one last thing from Sydney Grace I've been testing out this month, the California Coast palette, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Sydney Grace formula, and this palette is a beautiful neutralish palette. I say neutralish because it mostly is neutral, but this particular shade down here is too red for my taste. I can't wear this one. Sorry, my dog keeps leaning on the door and making a terrible sound. This is the shade Big Sur. I mean, the swatches just keep going. That's, I mean, that's Sydney Grace. But look at how beautiful that shade is. I have to be really careful with shades like this. I keep trying and I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can pull it off. And then I'll see myself on camera or I'll catch myself in the mirror and it's like, no, I really shouldn't wear shades like that. So sadly, there is one shade in the palette that I'll be staying away from, but the rest of the shades work for me. They are so beautiful. I did do a get ready with me with this palette where I swatched it all out for you guys, so I can try to remember to link that down if you wanted to see that. Just quick notes about the formula. If you've never tried Sydney Grace before, their pressed pigments have a lot of pigment to them. You can see that when I swatched it. If I could have kept going, these will blend out and blend out and blend out till they look like a beautiful kind of creamy cream shadow. They have a beautiful formula to them. The mattes, interestingly, don't always swatch the best. I'm trying to remember which one of these. I was surprised how it didn't swatch very good. Let's try this one. Oh no, that one swatched beautifully. Sometimes, however, when shadows don't swatch the best, it doesn't mean that the shadow isn't good, because I tested all these shades and they were all, again, very beautiful, classic Sydney Grace quality. Maybe it was this one, La Jolla Shores, that I thought didn't swatch very well. That might have been it. In any case, they are very pigmented, just like their pressed pigments. I tend to just dip my brush into these shadows. I don't swirl them, I don't tap them, I just dip in and that's good for me, but I do tend to wear more lightweight eyeshadow looks. I don't like to go too deep with my shades. If you like to go deep, this palette is there for you because it has no problem going deep. A lot of times these shades will actually go deeper on my skin than they look in the pan, but every time I use Sydney Grace, it's a delightful experience. The quality is very high, and if you like this color story, I do not think you'll be disappointed. All right, that's everything that I was ready to talk to you guys about. I do have one more blush I've been testing. This one from Lancome. This is one of their classic blushes, the Blush Subtle blush. This is the shade Miel Glacé, and I'm still in the middle of testing it, so be on the lookout for that review for next month. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate you hanging out with me. Please share your reviews of these products down in the comment section so we can all benefit from our collective wisdom. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye!